It's a blessed day. It's a blessed day. We are meeting once again, change champions all over the world. I welcome you to your show. Welcome to Live with Chatufa. I hope you had a blessed weekend. We are meeting once again, and we want to appreciate the Lord for keeping us all alive as we are standing and fighting, believing and praying for the new great Zimbabwe that is coming. We are seeing the freedom of the Zimbabwean people, and welcome to its gospel. The gospel is on this platform where we are reminding each other of the plans of the Lord over the nation of Zimbabwe, that freedom is coming and freedom is now. And we are watching events that are unfolding in the country, a lot of things happening, signs that we are seeing that indeed the end of the oppression in Zimbabwe is getting closer and closer, for the enemy is panicking and the enemy is in trouble. We are seeing as the introduction of the new currency that Mnangagwa has just brought in, the confusion that is behind the currency and the rejection by the masses of Zimbabwe. It's a lot that is happening already. We are seeing that there's tension right now in the country, and there's confusion, there's no order. And as this new Mnangagwa currency is introduced, we are also seeing government entities beginning to profit in US dollar as they are hiding behind the new ZIG currency confusion, because this currency has already brought a lot of confusion, and we are seeing government parastatals and entities beginning to take advantage of the confusion that the ZIG has brought in the economy, and they are using that opportunity for profiteering. And it is very unfortunate, because we are seeing that this is the very same government that is supposed to be trusting its currency and promoting the currency by accepting it first before they can expect the public or the citizens of Zimbabwe to accept the new currency. It is just a sign that they know what is happening. So we are seeing quite a number of these entities that are coming up with some excuses as to they are still going through transactions of shifting from the bond note to the new introduced currency. They are still figuring out. We understand the supermarkets, most of them have already done the transfers and the transactions, but the other parastatals or government entities, they seem to be dragging their feet and are just using this as a way of profiteering. For those that are joining us for the very first time on this show, I would just want to encourage them to like the show, to subscribe, and also hit that bell, and you will continue to receive more and more of our broadcast each time that we are live on the show. It is very, very important for you to get notifications. So I would want us to look into some of these entities and some of these government parastatals that are using this advantage of the confusion that has been brought by this new currency. So the Standard newspaper is actually saying Portras Zimbabwe is planning to index tariffs to the United States dollar to hedge against losses from exchange rate fluctuations resulting from an unstable local currency. So we are seeing that the ZIG already is being taken as a joke, because already, if the government itself, the issuing entity, are not trusting the ZIG to the point that we have our phone tariffs now being leveled in United States dollars, it is already a problem. And it means the local currency has been shut down. It has been shut out of every transaction that has to do with the telephone exchange, purchasing of data, of whatever that people are using in terms of in line with the Portras. So Portras, remember, they've always been politicking. Portras, remember, are the guys who were or are still blocking the coming in of Starlink, a facility that was going to make internet very, very cheap in Zimbabwe. And as you can see, many people and even many of our viewers are failing to connect with us on social media and on other platforms, because the crisis is still on in Zimbabwe when it comes to issues of data and issues of internet. And ZANU-PF through Potras, they want to continue to politic and are refusing to license because of the corruption that is happening between these officials of Potras, ZANU-PF big wigs, as well as those that are in the service provision, the companies that are providing the services in Zimbabwe. So already we are seeing that the moment that the ZIG has shown that there is confusion in terms of its introduction, because we saw that the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe came up with the day of introduction, the day that they were bringing in their monetary policy, and it looked like they were very ready. And yet, when they gave the 21 days of transacting from the bond note to the new currency, they had actually not printed the ZIG. And that ZIG is still not yet available. Only for them later on to explain that the ZIG was going to be coming in later on, like well around the 30th. And what is going to be happening as of now, because many institutions, including banks, supermarkets, and the like, they've already shifted quickly. They did not wait now for that note to hit the market. They've already shifted. But while they've shifted from the bond note is still within its 21 days that was given, its window period. But already it has been shut down like in a day or two, already out. So what it means is everyone is transacting in US dollar as of now, which is going to be very, very difficult. When we consider the drought that is in the country, when we consider the hardship in the country, the unemployment in the country, and then we see these government entities deciding to only accept the US dollar at this moment, while the window period is not yet over for the bond note. It is just a scheme that they are using to make sure that they profit out of it. And it's said how ZANU-PF people in Warakashi want to campaign for this money as if it is some kind of football game or football team. You don't campaign for this. You don't go around making noise about it. So and expect that the citizens of Zimbabwe are going to accept this new currency. One thing that the Zimbabwean ZANU-PF people and Warakashi must understand is ZANU-PF is not doing this for the first time. This has happened before, and the people of Zimbabwe, once bitten, twice shy. They do understand how ZANU-PF plays tricks when it comes to this. This is all just a big Ponzi scheme. It is just a big joke. They are just looting money, US dollars, from the Reserve Bank, from the market, from the streets, using this ZIG, a ZIG that they themselves don't want to see. It's not working on filling stations. It's not being accepted in the passport office. It's not accepted in the at toll gates. It's not acceptable in other entities of government. So who are they expecting to take this ZIG seriously? So at times, I heard Nick Mankwana saying some people are witches because they are fighting against the ZIG. It's not it. Some people were saying the opposition are just politicking. They just want to do down and pull down the ZIG. It's not about that. The problem is they do their things without listening to anyone. ZANU-PF, Mnangagwa, and these ministers, they don't take advice from anyone. They just do whatever that they want. And yet they expect the masses of Zimbabwe to support them, which is not going to be possible. It's really not going to be possible. It's going to be a mountain to climb. So if ever there is anyone who is destroying the ZIG currency, it's actually ZANU-PF itself, because of the way that they want to do the things they are doing, the way that they are carrying themselves when it comes to the timing, when it comes to the real introduction of the money, the lack of consultation, and also the kind of command economics, some kind of a dictatorial system of introducing systems of the economy. They won't work because people will simply reject. And when people reject, ZANU-PF people are coming after people and trying to fight people. So it's not going to be working. And again, we see the same thing has happened again with the ZESA, the Zimbabwe Electricity Transmission and Distribution Company. They've put an update and customer update where they are saying, please note that our conversion to ZIG is still underway. In the interim, all customers can purchase tokens using US dollar currency or pay their bills in US dollar at ZETDC banking halls countrywide and through online platforms. Can you see? This is the same issue again that we are seeing with Potras. It's also happening again with the power utility, which means these guys, they are simply buying time. They want to make sure that they will continue, they can continue giving excuses that no, the conversion process is not yet complete, while citizens will have to fork out the hard currency, the US dollar. And what happens? They are making profit. And remember, most of these companies have already been taken by Mnangagwa, and he has incorporated them in that Mutapa fund of his, a gross looting scheme that Mnangagwa has started. And he's stealing money from all government parastatals for his personal enrichment. And this is where Mangujika has been taken also to be one of those top guys who are running that. And when you look at the people that were appointed there, they were appointed by Mnangagwa, and it was him who knows those people. There was no parliamentary involvement. There was no citizen involvement. Everything was just done right from the office of Mnangagwa. So you can see that the looting scheme continues to be unveiled, and the net continues to be enlarged every time that we are seeing these things happen. So this is the danger that we are facing. So citizens already, they know what is needed. What is causing the economy of Zimbabwe, the currency of Zimbabwe, and the systems of government not to work is not anything else. It's not the citizens of Zimbabwe, but it is the government, the leaders that we have in Zimbabwe are the ones that are causing this problem. This is why citizens are very clear, and they reject whatever ZANU-PF is doing, and ZANU-PF wants to make them enemies of the state. Yet citizens are not the enemies. ZANU-PF and its surrogates are themselves enemies. So the citizens are speaking. They know that only leadership change is needed in Zimbabwe. We need a change of leaders. Once we have the change champion, we have a new government, we have a blue movement government coming in, you will see how easy it's going to be, because the whole of the masses of Zimbabwe will simply embrace a government that they trust, a government that they voted for, a government that does not threaten them, a government that does not rig elections. Simple. Once that is done, the whole masses of Zimbabwe are going to embrace all their systems, all things that they introduce, and then you will see them prospering. So I have a video here of a lady who was talking about the same issue, and she was saying only Nelson Chamisa, if he becomes the president, are we going to be seeing things becoming good? Citizens of Zimbabwe, they know where the problem lies. So this woman has been really very talkative, and I think she's the same woman I saw already talking again at the High Court. And remember on the Scala case, I think she is the same woman. So we just want to hear what she had to say concerning the issue of this.
Zuku yacho ina handisi kunyatsozvinzwisisa. Imi takati tipei maUS kudhara kunge pakanga pana tsvangirai. Ndikati mukomana anonzi Chamisa ngaapinde kani. Tishandise US dollar ndoingori easy. Zvenyu zvana zigu tinoziziva kuti isu tembere kuti zigu. Nandizve ziguyo. Zigu yacho ndaishaya.
You see? So this is what is happening. This is the situation that is happening in the country. Citizens are very clear, including old women. They are very clear. They know the solution that is needed in Zimbabwe. The solution is not to print new money, to change names, to change governors, or whatever. The situation in Zimbabwe simply needs new leaders. We simply need new leaders. If ever ZANU-PF would just understand that once the people support you in the way that you come into power, and people are in agreement with you, all your systems will simply work. But unfortunately, ZANU-PF is too arrogant. They think that they can force everything, but it's not everything that they can force. They can rig elections, but they can't rig the economy. So what we need as citizens, we need a free Zimbabwe. We need a freedom in Zimbabwe, a country that is freed from oppression, from a government of thieves, and government that is corrupt, a government that works for the people, a government that has objectives and goals that are there to improve the livelihood of every Zimbabwean, not of Vene and their families and individuals. That is the problem, and that is the crisis that we have in Zimbabwe. So the greatest sanction that is in Zimbabwe is ZANU-PF, and we must continue to demand that ZANU-PF must go. Emerson Mnangagwa and his foolish thievery government, they simply must just go away, leave Zimbabwe, let Zimbabwe choose their own leaders, and those leaders are going to make sure that the Zimbabwean situation is raised to high levels. And definitely our country is going to rise. Our country is going to change. Zimbabwe is going to be great. It's going to be better. Zimbabwe is going to be one of those countries that are going to be recognized as successful and prosperous. Come, new government. This is why we are saying, let us continue to pray. Let us continue to believe. Let us continue to stand and support the change champion. Pray for the change champion. Pray for the nation. And God is going to deliver the nation that we want into our hands. So God is in it, God is moving in it, and definitely things are going to happen very, very soon. Let's continue to be strong. As we can see, ZANU-PF systems are collapsing because ZANU-PF's time has come to an end. Gogongube, how are you? I just greet you here. She says, kana isingashande kuma passport fuel or toll gates zesa itsi, then apana mwaripindirai. Definitely they must demonstrate by allowing this money to work in those areas. Then we can say we have money. They cannot talk of money which cannot cross the border. No, money must not be like network, net one network which ends at the Bed Bridge. It must cross into South Africa. It must cross into Botswana and work. That's where we can say now we have money in Zimbabwe. Otherwise, what ZANU-PF is bringing are simply papers. Kana tichingova ne-US dollar chete, iyo mari inogadzirirwa varombo. Ngavarase o iyo mari inogadzirwa varombo ngavarase US dollar kana vachirevesa. Yes, they must get rid of the US dollar. You are very right there. I agree with you, my brother. They must throw away the US dollar if they are serious that they have made money. Then we can see their seriousness. There's supposed to be just one currency. It's either they leave the US dollar working while the economy is rising, or they put that whatever zig and get rid of any other currency, and then the government itself supports that money, and then we see how it works. Definitely it will get somewhere, but because it's a looting scheme, we know what they are doing. It's all thievery and it's all just profiteering that is happening with the ZANU-PF. We want functional money in Zimbabwe. ZANU-PF has failed. Indeed, they have shown their failures. Mnangagwa has been a colossal failure. Wait just a minute until the day that this money is going to hit the market. You'll be so surprised what is going to happen. It is going to be a catastrophic failure. It is just going to be introduced while it hits the ground. It's going to just have a free flow, a free fall that is going to be so amazing, right? Vari kuda kutora tuma USA turi kune varombo voisa muhomwe mavo kuti tinyatsotambudzika. Exactly. So this is what the problem now that ZANU-PF has is citizens of Zimbabwe are now aware of their shenanigans. No one is still in darkness. Even those Varakash who are supporting and praising it as if it is some kind of a football match or a football team, they know the truth. Because at the end of the day, ZANU-PF must learn to face the truth, to speak truth to power, and start to tell these guys that the policies and the way that you are doing things, you are causing starvation and hunger, you are causing poverty in the country. They must allow systems that are genuine and systems that really work. We don't want to continue to see this trickery and all these things that they are just doing for the sake of, some cosmetic appearances. We want true leaders that are genuine whenever they are introducing what they have to introduce. It must be genuine. Amen. Ngati ngaitenge kunyika dzese zigi yacho taneta nadambudzo shuwa mari iri haisi mari kuda kutibira chete. Exactly. This is just a big looting scheme. ZANU-PF is just scheming looting schemes from beginning to end. And this is the crisis that we are facing in the country. And we have to continue to pray for the nation and make sure that things will happen. And definitely, God is in it. God is moving. Freedom is coming. Zimbabwe is going to be free very soon. Let's continue believing, trusting, and praying for the nation, because very soon our freedom is coming. Thank you, family, for joining me. We have 3 more shows that are coming. One more that is coming very, very soon. I think around 6:30 somewhere there. And then we are going to go to the main channel, Chatufa Television Production, and where we are going to be having 2 more shows that are coming tonight. So stay tuned. Till we meet again in the next show, remain blessed. Love you so much.